Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode here in NHL 21. So in last episode, we had the trade deadline and simmed the rest of the season, and yeah, this team basically fell way out of contention, so I offloaded quite a bit of players like Godet. I can't remember who else, but there was a lot of players that we had on one-year deals that I decided to move out. That way we could get some more picks in, so we are going up into the draft with quite a bit of picks, I'm pretty sure, again. Yeah, so we got 3 4th-round picks this year, and then just a regular picks. And then I think we have more picks in future years. I'm not 100% sure with that, but we did trade for quite a bit of picks. And yeah, hopefully we could get a pretty good pick with our pick, even though we just barely missed the playoffs. So it might be probably like a 15th overall pick that we'd have, but we do have one comment that I'd like the suggestion of that I'm going to bring up right now. That's from HawksFan88. He says, tough season as you didn't make the playoffs and you probably wouldn't get a very high pick either. I think you should definitely try and move up in the draft if your pick is low. I think if you do try and move up in a draft, you will have to give up a lot as teams are unwilling to give up high picks. You could maybe try trading Raymond in a prospect/pick or two that you don't think will pan out. And then Raymond's value is still high, and he probably won't reach his full potential until he's 23. He's actually 24, I'm pretty sure now, and he's only 85, making good trade baits. So yeah, I definitely agree with trading Lucas Raymond because he has not been bad, I would say, but he hasn't been great. As like if we look at our stats here, he's only an 85 at 24 years of age, and yeah, as you can see, 30 points in his first, or well, actually, yeah. 20 points, 30 points, 30 points, 57 points, and only 45 this past season. He's not very great. And then in the playoffs, when he did play a couple of seasons ago, he only had 1 goal in 5 games. So yeah, I think it's time to move on for him, and he could get a change of scenery. And then we could probably get a good pick with the draft if we move Raymond in our first, if we do have a late round pick. If we, for some reason, win the draft lottery, because we have not seen the lottery results, then obviously we don't need to move up. But that would be probably the best move for us, I think, at the moment. And yeah, a lot of these guys that we signed in last year's free agency are more than likely going to leave because they all have like 1-year deals. So it should be another offseason of reshaping this team pretty much. So let's into the awards for the end of the season and the draft lottery results and all that. See who wins the Stanley Cup, because we did not check that last episode because last episode was like 34 minutes long and I didn't want to make it like a 40-minute episode for you guys. So let's go to June 1st and we should be able to find out who wins the Stanley Cup. We passed some owner goals, which is good. Always good to pass those goals, even though it doesn't really matter that much. Was Laurikainen injured in the AHL? I just want to make sure he's playing. No, he wasn't. Okay. But yeah, the AHL affiliate is more than likely going to be a pretty good contender for the... Wow, okay, never mind. They just suffered an injury. But they might still win the Calder Cup because they do have some really good defensemen down there. And the AHL had a fantastic season, I'm pretty sure. Hopefully our young guys are growing a lot. We're going to probably have to bring in or let go of some defensemen in this offseason, so I might not do the re-sign stage in this episode just because Lacerte and Tuppurainen might jump up, which means you guys are going to have to give me some opinions on who to let go. I know for sure we could probably just let go of John Marino, but I'm not sure about who else we want to let go of on the defensive end to make room for these guys because we want the youth to play, obviously. Okay, so our AHL team just got eliminated in the second round. That sucks, I think. Yep. Wow, that blows. Let's actually just take a look at how they did during their playoff run for a little something extra, because you guys probably are curious on the prospects down there. So, wow, Damon Weaver had over point per game in that playoffs. And just in case you guys wanted to check their season stats, because I don't think I showed you guys. Here is the stats. So Jenner had 45 points, Lacerte 43, Laurikainen 40 points, and Tuppurainen 26. All of them really good in plus minus, so the AHL system is killing it. Wish the NHL team would do that. And then Mui and Nguyen both had pretty good seasons. Mui especially with a 237 and a 916. It's pretty good. Actually, I need to check their playoff stats as well. Just to curious of our prospect development. So Weaver 12 points, Sadikov 12 points, even though Sadikov is more than likely not going to become a top 6 forward, I don't think, at this stage. Generally had 4 points in the playoffs, not very great, but whatever. Lacerte also had 4 points. Tuppurainen had 3 points. So those guys don't seem to be great at the playoffs, but that's okay because most of them are defensemen. So, anyways, let's continue to sim and see who wins the Stanley Cup, because I'm kind of curious on who's going to win the cup. Right now, it's Philadelphia and Anaheim for the Stanley Cup. And we're only in 2026. I mean, that kind of is realistic in a sense, but Anaheim doesn't even have Trevor Zegras in this, so it kind of doesn't. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup? It's going to be the Philadelphia Flyers, and then Laval wins the AHL, okay? So let's take a look at those individual awards. I don't think we won anything. Maybe we did because of Patrick Kane, but who knows. So Philadelphia wins the Stanley Cup. Vegas won the President's Trophy, and it was Anaheim and Philly for the Cup. Jack Eichel wins the Art Ross. Patrick Kane won the Hart with a team that didn't make the playoffs. That is pretty insane. I applaud Patrick Kane for coming over to this team when we didn't even make the playoffs. John Carlson wins the James Norris, his 4th in 5 years. Lady Bean going to Nathan McKinnon on the Islanders. I didn't realize he signed with the Islanders in this. Wow, okay. Arthur Kaliev wins the Calder. That kind of makes sense with how he performed at the World Juniors in real life. Dylan Genther wins the Conn Smythe. Carter Hart wins the Vezina. He's not even on Philadelphia, and Philadelphia goes on to win the Cup. That's kind of crazy. He also wins the William M. Jennings. Carter Hart's just killing it right now. Valimaki wins the Bill Masterton. Arsene wins the Adams. Deneau wins the Selke. Kane also won the Lindsay with us. And Sagan wins the Richard. So, 2 awards for Patrick Kane on a non-playoff team. Interesting. In terms of the AHL, Patrice Bergeron getting an award. That's kind of funny because he's now the captain of the Boston Bruins. As of this recording, like I'm literally recording this like a couple hours before you guys watch this. So, yeah, I don't think we got anything else. Yeah, no awards for our AHL system, unfortunately. Okay, so now comes the big moment, the draft lottery results. Where are we going to be drafting? Please randomly move up, because if we randomly move from like the 15th to number 1, that would be insane. But more than likely, that's not going to happen. But hopefully, we can move up still. If not, we're gonna have to make some trades, and yeah, we're gonna actually drop back a spot. So we went from 12 to 13. And Edmonton moves from 3 to 1. So Edmonton has won another draft lottery. That is really, yeah, I don't like that. San Jose is probably going to be willing to move their pick at number 3. But the thing is, there's an OFD that's supposed to go at number 3. So I don't know if I want number 3. If I was to try and go for a top, 3 pick, I'd go with, number 2 or number 1. But maybe we could jump into that top 5. So let me actually take a note of which teams have which. Just because, or else I'm going to forget who I'm making trades with. Well, actually, I would be making the trades at the draft, but still I want to make sure I know who. Okay, so we should be able to move up, I think, if we give up Lucas Raymond to somebody. Because more than likely somebody's going to want Lucas Raymond. So let's take a look at the retired players for this season. So Giroux, Bergeron, Kessel, Marchand. A lot of guys that made their NHL debuts from 2004 to 2008 or so. Or 2011, some of them even. Anybody that retired for us, so that's more what I'm interested about. To know we did not lose anybody, which means Patrick Kane can come back. I don't think I'm going to do the resign stage in this episode because we're already at almost 10 minutes. So if you guys want to give me feedback on who to resign, let me know if we should bring back Patrick Kane for sure. Because he was a really good player for us. And PK Subban's now a coach for the Edmonton Oilers. Or he could be a coach for the Edmonton Oilers. That's kind of funny. PK Subban as a coach. I mean, that kind of is realistic, but I think he has more of a sense in TV than coaching. Let's see. Did we lose any coaches? No, we did not there. And none in the AHL. Okay. Let's do some draft interviews just because, like I said, this episode's more than likely going to be only to draft. So, Conacher might go first overall, this offensive defenseman, which is kind of interesting. Then there's Raphael James, who we have no idea anything about this guy still. So I have no idea how good this guy is. Ricci is also projected to maybe go first. My scout was recommending to take Ricci first overall. He might actually end up going first overall because he plays center and left wing. Yeah, we might move into the top 5 if we can, if there's a team willing to do so. But we'll probably try and trade with teams also in the top 10 because there is also an elite center that's supposed to go 9th. And this guy is NHL ready. So if he does go 9th, that would be a pretty good one to trade for. But I might want to trade for an earlier pick just because this guy could go a bit earlier if an AI finds out about him. Yeah, that might be actually the great pick to do. The center playmaker that's number 9. And he's NHL ready. Yeah, I think Matthews might be our pick. Let's interview him, just make sure his skills are accurate. But I think this guy will be probably our pick if we can move up. Just because we don't have actually a lot of centers that are in the system, so I think that guy would be the best. This guy's best thing is his skating, his weakness. He's more of a skill player, so he's not physical. Makes sense. What about his play style? Actually, let's ask about his personality, because I don't know if I have his personality scouted. What type of person is he? He has high standards of himself and his team, and he likes to win at all costs. Well, I'm afraid to tell you, but Detroit's kind of a team that doesn't win all the time, but hopefully you could help us win. But yeah, I think this guy could be probably our pick if we can move up. Other than that, though, this guy might be elite. 2 years away, there's a potential that he could be elite as well. Center sniper. That's interesting. Let's also interview this guy, and then we'll probably also interview somebody else. Maybe that's supposed to go in a later round, but let's interview this guy as well. Because if we can move up to like number 9 or 8 or something, we could choose between the two of those guys. So let's think about this guy's strengths and weaknesses. Since he's a sniper, it's probably shooting, right? Yeah, this guy's definitely a sniper. Okay. What about your biggest weakness? Probably physical. Yep, physicality. Not a surprise. And I'll also ask you about your personality. Yeah, I think I'll ask about his personality as well. Actually, I'll ask about his NHL readiness, because I have not asked him about that, and I'm pretty sure we didn't have that fully scouted yet. So what is your readiness, Mr. Sonnenberg? Yeah, so he's also a couple years away. Okay. He might not be elite. He might be just a top 6 forward, so... Yeah, he's a top 6 forward because he's got 3-year ETA. So Matthews is technically who we want to try and move up for still. It's good I scouted Sonnenberg, because if I didn't know he was 3 years away, I would think he was probably elite, but he's probably a top 6 forward. Anybody else we want to draft? Nicholas Donald. No, I don't like that name. Anybody that's supposed to go randomly in a late round. Maybe this guy's an elite defenseman. 3 years away? Huh. But this guy's already 20, but he's supposed to go 104th. Huh. But this guy's already being 20 and having that skills, probably not going to make it, or he's going to make it at like an old age. Yeah, I don't know who else we want to interview. I think I'll just get to the draft already, almost at this stage. Yeah, I think that's all I'm going to do for interviews. Okay, so we're going to have to make a trade and try and move up to number 9, because let's go to our draft board again, see what the scouts are recommending us. Right now, our forward depth in terms of prospects, we actually have A- overall in forwards, which is decent, but once we let go of a lot of the guys to free agency, we won't. Defensively, we got a lot of top prospects, which is good, and goalie depth is not too bad either. Okay. And in our projected picks with our first, they say Laurent Brodeur, but I'm going to be moving up. We also have our second and stuff. Okay. We might be able to throw somebody like Tuppurainen into a deal, because there's a lot of defensive prospects in our system. Like there's another one that's going to be going into the AHL next season from the United States. So we could always trade away somebody like Tuppurainen, who we acquired in a trade, but I don't know for sure if we want to do that. because I'd like the AHL to keep competitive. Okay, so Dallas wants to move the 7th overall pick, so we could move up all the way to number 7, and then probably take that guy that's supposed to go 9th. Let me actually just check the draft class again, because I want to see if there's anybody better supposed to go at number 7, because maybe we take somebody better if we move to number 7. There's another defenseman, but we don't really need defensemen. There's the Shelly guy who's a top 6. There's only this guy that's catching my eyes, so I think I'm going to just move up to that 7th pick and take that guy at number 7 if Dallas is willing to make a deal. So Dallas, we will give you 13th overall. I know you don't really want it, but we'll still give you 13th overall. And we will give you Lucas Raymond, I think. Yeah, we'll give you Lucas Raymond. And let's see if we can squeeze back maybe some other picks, because they do seem to be a contending team. They don't really have a lot of picks this year, but they do want to give up their 2nd for next year. I'll see if I can get a 2nd for next year. Okay, so a 1st and a 2nd for Raymond and a 1st. Let's see if this works. And that is accepted. Okay, there you go. So thank you to Hawks fans for that suggestion. Really like that one. And moving Lucas Raymond is a good thing for us, I think, because now we're getting a new center prospect and somebody that we could maybe revolve the team around once Dylan Larkin moves out, because Dylan Larkin more than likely will move out eventually. Okay, so let's sim through these picks. So Edmonton at number 1 is going to take Conacher, the offensive defenseman, so good for them. This guy's going to be playing with Connor McDavid. So he's more than likely going to be a future Norris winner, going 1st overall. 2nd overall is James, going to Boston, Raphael James, the son of LeBron James probably. San Jose at number 3 is going to take Ricci, so they take the son of former Shark, Mike Ricci, I'm just going to say, just for fun. St. Louis at number 4 is going to take Burkhoff. The guy that we want to move up for better still go at number 7. Wilm goes to Colorado. Columbus takes Almquist. Good. They only took the top 6 forward, which means we're going to be taking... The scouts are recommending us Shelley or Eaton, but I'm going to take Caden Matthews because he's elite. So welcome to Detroit, Caden Matthews. This should be a pretty good pick. 77 playmaker. So I might give him 1 year in the juniors before actually playing in the NHL. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. Just because this team is... Yeah, he won't really fit on our team right away. But yeah, I'm going to give him 1 year in junior just so he could tear it up before coming back. So he's not really NHL ready. He's more of like an AHLer at this point, but still not too bad. I'm very excited for him and to see how he pans out. Let's sim to... Actually, let's see what goes afterwards. So Shelley was only top 6, okay. And there's another elite. Sonnenberg was an elite, so he wasn't top 6'4", but he's only a 66, so he's a couple years away still. Good, I didn't go with him. Eaton was the top 4, only 70 overall. So I'm glad I didn't go with that. And yeah, that's pretty much that. Let's sim to our next pick in the 2nd round at 43rd. Yeah, the rest of this draft might be a crapshoot because it doesn't look like we scouted that much. Oh, this guy might be NHL ready, and then it's another friggin' defenseman. Oh, we already have 2 defensemen jumping to the NHL next year. If we get another draft-ready defenseman here in the 2nd round, this is crazy. Because we have so much defensemen, we could easily move them out for probably good forward prospects. But yeah, I think I'm going to just take Thomas Larson. Right-handed defenseman, might as well. And he might be NHL ready. And he is. What the heck is this? 77 offensive defenseman, medium top 4. Jeez, that's like back-to-back years where we've had a really good 2nd round pick in terms of defensemen. Like, I honestly don't know who's going to be part of our future and who isn't. Because we're going to have to start moving out random ones of these guys. But this guy's going to be probably playing in the AHL right away to start. Kind of like what, what's his name did last season, Savonin. Okay. Wow, that guy had the same overall as our 1st round pick. And that guy went at number 7. Okay. Let's go with our 3rd round pick. This might be a deep draft. I don't want to go with another defenseman, honestly. We need forwards. Unless we want to be making trades with our prospects. This guy might be top 6 forward. I don't know for sure, though. I think I might just take him because he's 3 years away. And he's only 18. Okay, yeah, let's take this guy. This guy's probably top 6 forward. He might be a low overall, but we'll take him anyways. 63 top 9. Okay, so he's not a top 6, but he might end up making it at some point. Not too bad. We'll let him develop in the queue for a while. 4th round pick. Can we get any steals here? Probably not. This guy's a low top 9. 4 years away. Gale Gamble. What a name. That guy's a bit of a gamble. I always like to make that joke. Jonathan Nash. Guillermo Drake. That's kind of a neat name. Nicholas Johansson. This guy's also 3 years away. Oh yeah, that was the guy that was the overager. You know what, we're going to just take this overager. Why not? Even though he's a defenseman. Medium top 60, 64. That's not too bad, but he's a few years away from making it at 20. He's probably going to be just a good AHL defender for us. Another 4th round pick. We do still have enough to get... Yeah, we'll probably just go with the low top 9. Because sometimes low top 9s actually develop. It's like the low top 4 for defensemen. So 60 overall, not too bad. Let's sim to that next pick. And wow, we actually had 3 4th round picks. I forgot about that. We don't need really any goalie prospects, but we could go with this guy. He's 5 years away. That's a long time. We're probably just going to go with another forward, because why not? We'll take Jeffrey Cato, because he's 19. Why not? 62, low top 9. A lot of these guys probably not going to make it, but it's good to have them in case. Winnipeg wants our 5th round pick for a 6th and 7th next year. And I don't know how good we are going to be next year. I'm just going to keep my 5th. Cowan. Caden Cowan looks decent. I don't know if he is good, though. I think I might just take him because we need forward prospects. So yeah, let's just do that. Bottom 6, 57. Okay, that's a lot worse than it looked. 167th overall. Ernest Robinson. Quentin Booth. Pierce Sadine. I honestly don't know who to go with at these later rounds because usually I don't draft this late. I don't really need defensemen. Let's just scale by potential. Oh, there's still a medium elite goalie that's supposed to go like undrafted almost, or right at the end. That's kind of intriguing. I might take him with our next pick, but the scouts are recommending Skylar Lavin, another defenseman. No, I don't really need another defenseman. I think I'm just going to take a random stab at a random guy. Yeah, let's just take Damian Kilger, the son of Chad Kilger, even though he's supposed to go undrafted. Bottom 6, EU. A little bit of a struggle here in the late round, and if that goalie's still available, I think I'm just going to take him. Yeah, because he's supposed to go undrafted at 18. He's got elite potential. He's going to be 23 if he makes the NHL, but we're still going to take him just for fun. See if he actually develops into something. 48 overall. Yikes, but still good potential. Okay, so now I'm going to show you guys the contract situation on who we got to sign this offseason, and then I think I'm going to leave it up to you guys just because I would like your opinion on who we should be re-signing and bringing back for next season. And then I also will probably, you guys will also have to give me some feedback for potential off-season moves. Like, we want to play the youth probably over any free agent. And then free agency-wise, we might just pick up pieces that we're missing, so probably not a whole lot. But I would rather just keep kind of going through this rebuild one at a time, kind of like what the Sens are doing in real life right now, where we're picking up, where we have good young players, but we're also picking up a couple vets for where we need. So yeah, let's go into our contracts. Who do we got to re-sign? So Zadina is the big one. I need your guys' opinion on Zadina especially, because Zadina I think definitely should come back. But he wants quite a bit of money, 10.65 for 6 years. We do have a lot of cap space. So I think Zadina is a no-brainer to bring him back. But if you guys think we should be letting him go, let me know. Patrick Kane's probably not going to want a whole lot. Oh, he actually does want a lot now because of how he played this season. Yeah, I don't know about bringing back Patrick Kane. He might drop off a lot, but he might produce still pretty good. Joe Volino is definitely going to come back as an RFA, but if you guys wanted to let me know about term, that would be nice. He wants actually quite a bit of money. Kadri, I don't think is going to come back because he's older. He's probably going to just keep dropping off. Same with Andrew Shaw. But just in case you guys want to see how much they're offering, Guinea's an RFA because we signed him in free agency. I might just qualify him or let him go because we do have a lot of defensemen jumping up. Same goes with John Marino. Suzuki is probably going to come back as well on like a one-way deal that's really low. Or else these guys don't matter too much. And then so you guys can see which guys are coming into our AHL system. Stewart, who we drafted, what was it? 21st overall. He's going to be getting signed for the AHL affiliate. He might not make the NHL, but he's still a decent prospect. In terms of other guys, there's nobody else really. And there's also Lorenz, who is going to have to get signed, but I don't know if he's going to be playing. He might play in the AHL because Eliasson's not much, but those are our expiring goaltenders. And then unsigned wise, I think I'm already going to do these signings because I know for sure. So Larson's going to play in the AHL this year. And then Matthews is going to get hit. I know he's not going to get his entry level yet, I don't think. Because does it burn a year if he plays in the year? No, I don't think it does. I think I'll sign him already anyways. But he's more than likely... do I want to sign him yet? I'm going to leave that up to you guys as well. Do I sign him yet, or do I just let him play in the OHL, was it? Yeah, the OHL. But just so you guys can see our prospect system right now as well for potential what we could be going after for free agents and stuff too. But I think for the most part, let's see actually who we already have signed for next season. Not a lot of players. Yeah, there's barely anybody signed actually for centers next season. But for next season, we already still have Kubalik under contract, Wall, Sider, Winder, Big, Savonin, Tuparainen is also signed for next season, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And Garon, their entry levels come to an end. Jenner is signed, Kosh, a lot of the AHL guys, but not really a lot of our NHL rosters. So we can pretty much shape this team to being anything we want at this stage. So anyways, that's going to do it for this episode of our Detroit Red Wings franchise mode. So in next episode, we will take it to the re-sign stage and the free agency. And we'll do any suggestions that you guys think of, because this team really needs to start turning a page because we are kind of struggling as of the last few years. So let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.